It's hard to believe that it has been 8 years since I first came to this convention to talk with you about why I thought my husband should be president.
Michelle Obama's journey from her modest childhood to becoming the First Lady of the United States is incredibly inspiring. While it might appear that her success happened suddenly, the reality is quite different. Her rise to prominence was built on years of hard work, determination, and resilience. From her early days in a working-class neighborhood to her achievements on a national stage, her story highlights the incredible effort and perseverance that fueled her path. It's a powerful reminder that behind every success story, there's a foundation of relentless dedication and ambition. Early life and upbringing. Before Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama became one of the most recognized figures in the world, her early life was far from the grandeur of the White House. She grew up on the south side of Chicago in a modest one-bedroom apartment with her parents and older brother. The Robinson family lived in a small bungalow within a close-knit community where many of their relatives were nearby. It was in these humble surroundings that Michelle's values, ambitions, and resilience were shaped by her parents' strong dedication to their children's futures. Michelle's father, Fraser Robinson III, worked as a city pump operator. His job was physically demanding, but he took pride in it and approached his work with unwavering dedication. Despite battling multiple sclerosis, Fraser worked hard to support his family, ensuring they had a stable home and better opportunities. His work ethic and determination left a lasting impact on Michelle, teaching her the value of perseverance, responsibility, and integrity. Fraser's commitment to his family, even as his health worsened, reflected the strength and character he instilled in his daughter. Michelle's mother, Marion Shields Robinson, was a homemaker and the emotional core of the family. She provided love, support, and guidance, instilling in Michelle a sense of self-worth and the belief that she could achieve anything she set her mind to. Marion's calm and steady presence created a secure environment, allowing Michelle and her brother Craig to flourish in a home filled with love and encouragement. Although the Robinsons' apartment was small, it was full of warmth and togetherness. The family made the most of their limited space, creating a home rich in love and shared experiences. Michelle often reminisced about the lessons learned in that cozy apartment, recognizing how the close quarters fostered a deep family bond. This close-knit environment helped shape Michelle's sense of community and her understanding of family values, which she carried with her throughout her life. Even with their modest means, the Robinson family valued spending quality time together. Sunday drives became a cherished tradition, offering a brief escape from daily routines and a chance to explore beyond their neighborhood. These drives were more than just a way to pass time. They symbolized the family's unity and Fraser's desire to give his children experiences that would broaden their horizons. Friday nights in the Robinson home were for relaxation and fun, often revolving around board games and television. One of their favorite shows was The Brady Bunch, a popular sitcom depicting an idealized American family. Michelle loved the show and became quite knowledgeable about its episodes and characters. Watching The Brady Bunch together was a ritual for the Robinsons, providing moments of laughter and connection that strengthened their family bond. Academic journey and achievements. From a young age, Michelle Obama was immersed in an environment that emphasized education and personal growth. Her parents were determined to ensure that she and her older brother Craig succeeded academically. This drive was evident early on, with Michelle skipping the second grade due to her academic gifts. Her intellectual curiosity led her to a gifted program at her elementary school, setting the stage for her future achievements. During her early education, Chicago began desegregating its schools, broadening Michelle's exposure to diverse perspectives and shaping her worldview. Michelle continued her journey at Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, Chicago's top public school for high achievers. Despite the hour-long bus commute from her Southside home, her dedication was clear. The diverse environment at Whitney Young pushed her to excel and taught her valuable lessons in empathy and understanding. Michelle faced skepticism about her ambition to attend Princeton University, with some doubting her goals. However, she used this doubt as motivation, ultimately proving her critics wrong by gaining admission. At Princeton, she graduated cum laude in 1985, further solidifying her commitment to academic excellence. Her time at Princeton deepened her understanding of race and privilege, which she later expanded upon at Harvard Law School. At Harvard, Michelle thrived and earned her law degree in 1988, reinforcing her commitment to social justice and public service. Michelle's achievements are particularly impressive considering her background. Though her parents did not attend college, they instilled in her a love of learning and a belief in the power of education. In a 2009 TED Talk, Michelle emphasized that success comes from dedication and hard work, not just natural talent. She encouraged students to adopt these values and strive for their dreams, reminding them to help others along the way. Professional career. After graduating from Harvard Law School in 1988, Michelle Robinson kicked off her career at Sidley Austin, one of Chicago's top law firms. At just 24, she was a junior associate in a big, predominantly white, male-dominated firm, quite a shift from her previous experiences. Despite the challenges, Michelle quickly stood out with her smarts, hard work, and dedication. Sidley Austin was known for handling high-profile corporate clients and complex cases, making it an ideal place for a young lawyer to start. Michelle took on various tasks like legal research, writing briefs, and preparing cases, tackling each with the same thoroughness she had shown in school. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed, and she soon earned the respect of her colleagues. Michelle's strengths weren't just in her legal skills, but also in her ability to connect with people and her natural leadership. In the summer of 1988, her role expanded when she was asked to mentor a summer associate from Harvard Law School, 26-year-old Barack Obama. Barack, already notable for being the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review, was a new intern eager to gain practical experience. Michelle took her mentoring role seriously, helping Barack navigate the ins and outs of corporate law and the firm's culture. Barack was instantly impressed by Michelle, later sharing with Oprah Winfrey that he was captivated by her beauty and poise. Michelle, on the other hand, was pleasantly surprised by how down-to-earth Barack was, especially after having initial concerns about his photo in the firm's directory. Personal life and marriage to Barack Obama. Despite the professional environment and her initial concerns about dating a colleague, especially one she was mentoring, Barack Obama's persistence and charm eventually won Michelle Robinson over. Their first date was anything but conventional. Instead of a fancy dinner, Barack took Michelle to Baskin-Robbins, a casual ice cream shop. This choice reflected his down-to-earth nature and love for simplicity. They sat on the curb outside the shop, sharing ice cream cones and having a deep, meaningful conversation. This relaxed and unpretentious setting allowed them to connect more personally, discussing their backgrounds, dreams, and views on life. Barack later reminisced about their first kiss, recalling it as a sweet and simple moment. "I treated her to the finest ice cream Baskin-Robbins had to offer, with our dinner table doubling as the curb," he said, adding that the kiss tasted like chocolate, a modest but memorable start to their relationship. After 3 years together, Michelle and Barack married on October 3, 1992. Their wedding was held at the South Shore Cultural Center in Chicago, a place of great personal and historical significance for Michelle. The ceremony was not just a celebration of their love, but also a symbol of progress in a city that had not always been welcoming to people like them. Start of a new life. The South Shore Cultural Center, where Michelle and Barack Obama chose to hold their wedding reception, had a complex history. Just 2 decades earlier, it was known as the South Shore Country Club, a private establishment that was off-limits to African Americans and Jews. This club symbolized the racial and religious segregation that was prevalent in many parts of the United States, including Chicago, throughout much of the 20th century. A 1984 Chicago Tribune article even noted that the club had been a place where, if you were black or Jewish, forget about it, highlighting its exclusionary past. By the time of the Obama's wedding, the South Shore Country Club had undergone a significant transformation. In the mid-1970s, the city of Chicago purchased the property and converted it into a public cultural center. This change not only made the venue accessible to all Chicagoans, but also represented a broader shift toward inclusivity and racial integration in the city. The once exclusive club was now a place where people from all backgrounds could come together. For Michelle, who had grown up in the neighborhood, choosing this venue for her wedding was especially meaningful. It was a way to reclaim a space that had once been closed to people like her and to celebrate the progress that had been made toward inclusivity and equality. Wedding of Michelle and Barack. On her wedding day, Michelle Obama looked radiant in an elegant off-the-shoulder gown that perfectly captured the early 1990s fashion. Her outfit was complemented by drop pearl and crystal earrings, adding a touch of timeless sophistication. Michelle's natural beauty and beaming smile made her the picture of happiness, a bride deeply in love and excited for the future. Barack, equally joyful, couldn't hide his happiness as he stood beside the woman who had become his life partner. The wedding blended traditional elements with personal touches. The couple exchanged vows that were heartfelt and genuine, reflecting their deep commitment to one another. Michelle later told InStyle magazine that Barack's promise encapsulated the essence of their vows. He didn't pledge riches, only a life that would be interesting. This promise was a reflection of their shared values, not driven by material wealth or status, but by a desire for a life rich in purpose, passion, and mutual respect. Her commitment to career and family. Before becoming the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama was juggling a demanding career with family life. As a successful attorney, she knew firsthand the challenge of balancing a high-pressure job with raising her children. Things became even more complicated when her husband, Barack Obama, began his run for the U.S. Senate, a move that would eventually lead them to the White House. Michelle's career was already impressive, with notable roles at Sidley Austin in various public service and nonprofit positions. As she adjusted to life with two young daughters, Malia and Sasha, and a husband who was increasingly in the political spotlight, she needed a job that allowed her to continue her professional growth while being there for her family. To manage this, Michelle took a crucial step by finding a position that offered the flexibility she needed. She was clear about her requirements in her job search. In an interview with Parade, she talked about her negotiating strategy. "I took my last job before my husband entered the White House because of my boss's reaction to my family situation," she said. Michelle knew that succeeding at work and home required a supportive work environment that valued her dual roles as a mother and a professional. At the time, without a babysitter, Michelle brought her youngest daughter, Sasha, along to her job interview. "I didn't have a babysitter, so I brought Sasha with me in her crib and her rocker. I was still nursing, so I wore my nursing shirt," she recalled. This wasn't just a negotiation, it was a real-life snapshot of a working mother managing career and family responsibilities while Barack was on the campaign trail. Michelle was upfront with her potential employer, laying out her needs clearly. "I told my boss, here's my situation. I have 2 young kids, my husband is running for the Senate, I need a full-time position with flexibility, a good salary, and enough to cover childcare. If you can meet these needs and are willing to be flexible, I can work hard and deliver results," she said. Her direct and honest approach showed she was committed to doing a great job, but needed the right support to balance her family commitments. Her prospective employer agreed to her terms, a moment Michelle described with satisfaction. In June 2016, Michelle Obama gave a powerful commencement speech at City College of New York. Reflecting on her time as the first Black First Lady of the United States, she spoke with grace and depth. "I wake up in a house that was built by slaves," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. This wasn't just a historical observation, it was a poignant reminder of the long journey African Americans had traveled. The White House, a symbol of American democracy, was partly built by enslaved people. For Michelle, living in that house was a striking symbol of progress and a reminder of the ongoing work toward equality. Her time at the White House. Michelle Obama offered a vivid glimpse into her life in the White House, sharing the daily routine of her family. She often described moments like watching her daughters, Malia and Sasha, head off to school while waving goodbye to their dad, the president. This simple yet profound scene was a powerful symbol of the American dream, illustrating how far things had come for African Americans. Her daughters were growing up in a world their great-grandparents could scarcely imagine, living in the White House, attending top schools, and being the children of the first Black president. For Michelle, this reflection was deeply personal and connected to her broader goals as First Lady. She was dedicated to making the White House feel welcoming to all Americans. She told Oprah Winfrey that she viewed the White House not just as the first family's home, but as a symbol of the nation's shared identity. It was crucial to her that everyone felt a sense of belonging and connection to this iconic building. During her time as First Lady, Michelle focused on making the White House a place where people from all walks of life felt welcome. She hosted diverse events, from honoring military families and veterans to engaging with young leaders from around the globe. The White House became a venue for celebrating the arts, discussing important issues like education and health, and making ordinary citizens feel included. Her vision of the White House as the people's house was a guiding principle throughout her role. Michelle's commitment to inclusivity extended to her personal interactions. She made sure that everyone, whether they were attending a formal state dinner or visiting on a school trip, felt valued and respected. She was aware of the symbolic significance of being the first Black First Lady and used her platform to advocate for issues important to her and the community she represented. Michelle's legacy is also reflected in the traditions of the White House. According to Vogue, her official portrait will be displayed prominently, making space for it among the portraits of previous First Ladies. This tradition highlights her place in history as the first Black First Lady and serves as a lasting testament to her contributions and achievements. When Barack Obama won the presidency in 2008, the spotlight naturally focused on him as the 44th president. But Michelle's impact was just as significant. Before stepping into the national spotlight, Michelle had built a distinguished career of her own. With her degrees from Princeton and Harvard, she was a successful hospital executive, earning over $250,000 a year. Her professional journey started at the Sidley Austin law firm in Chicago, where she met Barack. She later moved into public service with roles such as Assistant Commissioner of Planning and Development in Chicago and Executive Director for Public Allies, a nonprofit focused on leadership. As Vice President for Community and External Affairs at the University of Chicago Medical Center, Michelle solidified her reputation as a successful executive. But when Barack became president, Michelle faced a common dilemma for professional women, choosing between a flourishing career and family public service. The First Lady's role, while highly visible, doesn't come with an official salary, despite its significant responsibilities. Michelle gave up her lucrative career while Barack earned $400,000 a year as president, plus a $50,000 annual expense budget. This gap highlighted broader discussions on wage equality. Some argue that the role of First Lady is similar to that of a Chief Operating Officer, COO, in a major corporation. The First Lady manages a large staff, oversees various initiatives, and represents the country on the global stage. Michelle's work on initiatives like Let's Move and Joining Forces required significant leadership and strategic planning. James Pond of Challenger, Gray & Christmas suggested that the First Lady's role should be compensated like a COEO, estimating a salary around $287,000 a year. This argument underscores the need to reassess how we recognize and reward women in high-impact roles. Michelle's upbringing on Chicago's South Side instilled in her a strong work ethic and sense of responsibility, values she passed on to her daughters. Despite the grandeur of the White House, she was committed to ensuring that Malia and Sasha did not grow up with a sense of entitlement. She was aware of the unique challenges of raising children in such an environment and worked hard to keep them grounded and responsible. Post-White House life. When Michelle Obama and her daughters moved into the White House, Malia was just 10 and Sasha was 7. Michelle made it clear from the start that her daughters wouldn't be treated like royalty. She wanted them to have chores and responsibilities just as she did growing up. She told Oprah Winfrey that this wasn't just about keeping things tidy, but about teaching her daughters independence and self-reliance. Malia and Sasha were expected to help set the table, bring food, and work alongside the butler staff. Simple tasks, but they reinforced that everyone has a role in the household. Michelle also ensured that the girls took part in daily routines, like making their own toast in the morning rather than relying entirely on staff. The kitchen, usually run by White House staff, became a place where the Obama girls could enjoy normalcy and the small ritual of preparing breakfast. In a touching 2009 interview with Oprah, Michelle talked about how her relationship with Barack evolved after he became president. Despite the grandeur of his new role, Michelle's love for Barack had only grown deeper. She emphasized that his new position didn't change the essence of their relationship. He remained her husband, friend, and the father of their children, roles that were central to her life and their shared journey. Michelle described their relationship as a strong, enduring partnership. Even as Barack took the oath of office on the Lincoln Bible, a powerful symbol of the presidency, Michelle was focused on preserving their personal connection. She approached supporting Barack's presidency with both practical and heartfelt commitment, seeing it as an extension of their shared values and goals. As she put it, "The way I can honor that is by working by his side and adding value to what he's doing in any way that I can." Michelle Obama's journey from a regular girl in Chicago to one of America's most admired first ladies is truly captivating. Her story is a powerful blend of determination, grace, and a relentless drive to make a difference. From overcoming personal and professional hurdles to making an impact in the White House, Michelle's path is a testament to what can be achieved with hard work and staying true to your values. If you found her story as inspiring as we do, hit that thumbs up button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.